Profiles in Cinemania, Richard O'Brien.
Welcome, dear listeners, to another Profile in Cinemania. Before we dive into our subject, a warning is in order. In the inimitable words of the X-Files, we are not alone. Aliens walk among us for reasons inscrutable, perhaps even unfathomable. Our governments do not want us to know this. But as every budding conspiracy theorist with a Substack will tell you, one look at certain celebrities and you know the truth. Michael Jackson, Tom Cruise, Dennis Rodman. And as an anonymous whistleblower at a clandestine government agency confirmed, Elvis is not dead, he just went home. And in particular, these conspiracy theorists will point to an actor renowned not just for his strange demeanor, but as a champion, an icon, nay, the grand poobah of being weird. Author of the movement's most sacred text, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, Richard O'Brien. Now, according to all creditable sources, if you believe such things, Richard O'Brien was born in Gloucestershire.
It's pronounced
with an even less notable name for such an outrageous individual, nay, Richard Smith. But before you assume that all his later provocations and titillations were intended as a revolt against uptight British Moors, the family moved to the North Island of New Zealand when young Richard was only 10, which proves very little either way, except that apparently, the blended accent of people from the Cotswolds and the Bay of Plenty sound like a very bored cat that belongs to a supervillain. He rode into his debut in 1964. No, seriously, he started off as a horse stunt performer for British films before transitioning to theater. Indeed, like all true weirdos, his calling was the stage, and he spent the majority of his career performing and writing for it. He channeled his love for high camp and low sci-fi into early drafts of a show called They Came from Denton High. In 1972, O'Brien may not yet have been the high priest of all social rebels, but he could spot his own kind. He shared his work with director Jim Sharman, who became an immediate fan and eventually the director and producer. And within a year, whoever came from Denton High had arrived in London as the Rocky Horror Show. We at the Cinemania Society don't need to tell you the impact of this play turned movie turned play/movie turned immersive bread-throwing experience turned gospel of individualism. Not unless you're just tuning in for the first time accidentally when what you really wanted to hear was a dramatic reading of the 19th century ultramontanist sermons of Richard Baptist O'Brien, which this is not. Suffice to say, Rocky Horror was a massive influence. It put the fishnets in Halloween, and it is generally believed that even now, it is playing somewhere in the world every single night. No, let us focus instead on the person himself. You might think, no alien could succeed as an actor with convincing performances of the human condition that they've never lived. But Richard O'Brien has conveniently made a career playing aliens. Riff-Raff from Rocky Horror, Fico the Arborean Tree Man in Flash Gordon, Mr. Hand in Dark City, along with an ink thief, a time master, a magic mirror, a thin man, and whatever the hell the Maze Master was in the popular BBC game show The Crystal Maze. Even his first major role on stage, he managed to get cast as the only alien in any Sam Shepard play. Even when not playing an alien, Richard O'Brien is a popular choice for the least human-like of humans, playing memorable villains and minions in everything from Pacino period dramas like Revolution, to serial killer thrillers, to someone known only as the Child Catcher. Ugh. He was pretty much the only possible villain choice for Spice World or Elvira's Haunted Hills. This outsized persona and impact may not have translated into as many awards as you might expect, but there were several nominations, and he did win 2000's Best Thing About the 2000 Dungeons & Dragons film, as the slimy Lord of the Thieves Guild and Maze Master, even beating out Jeremy Irons as the villain, and Francis Ford Coppola's decision not to direct 2000's Dungeons & Dragons. Whatever his role, O'Brien simply could not blend in, whether on or off screen. He has spoken about how he never felt normal as a young man, no matter how he tried. This struggle to belong, he says, inspired Rocky Horror more than any political statement. But he has also been an outspoken advocate for challenging norms and embracing the strange. As he once put it, "I think you should push the boat out occasionally. We don't want to live in a stuffy, staid,
deeply evangelical society. It's unhealthy.
After a certain point, the line between nature and choice just disappears. Even in the spur of the moment, when approached at the stage door by a famous celebrity photographer to do a portrait, he immediately squeezed himself into a building crevasse like Bert the Chimney Sweep. We still don't know what the hell he was doing for 10 episodes on General Hospital in 1980, but we're looking into it. With all this evidence, how could anyone mistake Richard O'Brien as terrestrial in origin? It's obvious, no? But we at the Cinemania Society believe that this is one of the rare instances when the fringe internet pundits are wrong. Have you seen Richard O'Brien? Directors cast him for his affected mannerisms, his voice that slips inside your ear like an HR violation. Cinematographers love his face that was engineered in a lab for looming at you out of the shadows. In every photo, his fashion choice blazes the way for dandies and drag queens, a true debaucheur of the bohemian chic. No, any alien hiding amongst us would at least make an attempt. They would hardly go around writing musicals starring an Alice Cooper Dr. Frankenstein, exhorting everyone to be as outrageous and outlandish as possible to make way for the alien invasion by transsexual Vania. Do you want the truth? You can handle the truth. Richard O'Brien is no alien. He is as human as you and your neighbor Ted. The real conspiracy is that O'Brien secretly works for the aliens as their ambassador, paving the way for them to be accepted when they do step out of their shadows, costumes, or skin suits. He admitted as much in an interview when he said of his work in the theater,
"That's the job. It's to give a voice to the voiceless."
Sure, he didn't specifically say aliens, but is there anyone on Earth more voiceless than the sentient carrots of beta-carotene 6? They don't even have vocal cords.
This has been another profile on Cinemania. This episode was written by Daniel Scribner and was performed by Daniel Scribner, Andy Slack, and Ethan Ireland. Music by Carl Casey at White Bat Audio.